I'll call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is an open meeting of the Seward, Nebraska governing body. The city of Seward abides by the Nebraska Open Meetings Act in conducting business. A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is displayed on the north wall of this meeting room facility as required. Disclosure of meeting recording processes is posted in the meeting room. A participant sign-in sheet is available for use by any citizen addressing the council. Presenters shall approach the podium, state their name and address for the clerk's record, and are asked to limit remarks to 5 minutes. All remarks shall be directed to the mayor, who shall determine by whom any appropriate response shall be made. The city of Seward reserves the right to adjust the order of items on this agenda if necessary, and may elect to take action on any of the items listed. Please call the roll.
Beck.
Here.
Colterman.
Present.
Streisand.
Here.
Camper. Here. Singleton.
Here.
Hendricks.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Wilkin. Here.
All right, the first 6 items this evening make up the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please register your votes. Please spread the vote.
Voting in favor: Wilkin, Beck, Camper, Colterman, Miller, Singleton, Streisand, Hendricks, 8-0.
All right, our first administrative item this evening is consideration of approval of a loan agreement with the Nebraska Department of Environment and Energy for the Seward South Water Tower Project. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you. Good evening. So we did get approval from the state, and we have a construction permit. We have the plans and specifications approved, and as well, we have a application for state revolving funds for the project. Total amount, $4 million. We do not expect, of course, to utilize all $4 million. It doesn't hurt us, but it is advantageous to ask on the high side for this type of loan. So unlike on the wastewater side and the clean water side, the city of Seward does qualify for this type of funding. You do get a favorable loan rate. I think the estimate was close to 30% of forgiveness on that loan. So essentially we'll have a grant as part of that give back. With that, any questions that you might have, there's a lot of paperwork involved, but all is in order.
Thanks, Mike. Any questions for Mike? If not, we entertain any motion.
I'll move to approve the loan agreement.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
Voting in favor: Wilkin, Beck, Camper, Colterman, Miller, Singleton, Streisand, Hendricks, 8-0.
All right, item number 2, approve plan specifications and a cost estimate for the Seward South Water Tower Project and authorize the city to advertise for bids. Mike, welcome back.
Thank you. So again, in your packet, you had a 28-page plan sets and 600, almost 700 pages of specifications for this project. So we're excited to be able to release these plans and specifications for public bid. So with your approval, we anticipate doing so on Wednesday of next week and for 3 successive weeks in a row. And we'll have a bid opening date in late November if all goes according to plan. So again, there's a lot of paperwork involved. Certainly, any questions that you may have in any of that, either tonight or any time in the future, be happy to answer any.
Any questions for Mike? Yes, Sid.
Just to remind me, Mike, what is the estimated overall cost, A, and then how much is it we got from the county again to assist with that?
So the estimated cost, I think it's $2.4 million for actually construction. There's some other ancillary cost in the loan application itself. We are getting $300,000 from the county.
That's what I
Directly, and we also had planned to use our ARPA funds for this project.
Okay,
Those are our ARPA funds too, so
that's
it's
right.
not coming out of any general fund.
Right, that's what I thought, yeah, okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments for Mike? If not, I entertain a motion.
Move to approve plans and specifications going out for bid.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
Voting in favor, Wilken, Beck, Camperth, Coulterman, Miller, Singleton, Streisand, Hendricks, 8-0.
Alright, item number 3, consideration of a resolution designating city items as surplus. Derek?
Yeah, so every fall and spring, we ask all the department heads to see if they have any stuff lying around they'd like to get rid of. So this is the list they came up with last time. There's 2 trucks on there that they have no need for anymore. And then a couple other odds and end items here. So we're just asking for your approval to declare these items as surplus, and then we'll put in the paper that we have some items and set a date and advertise, and hopefully get some good bids and get rid of this stuff. So that's kind of what that is today.
Any questions or comments for Derek? Otherwise, asking someone like to introduce the resolution.
I'll introduce the resolution.
Alright, the resolution has been introduced and is designated as resolution number 2022-29. Would anyone like to move that this resolution be passed and adopted?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
Voting in favor, Wilken, Beck, Camperth, Coulterman, Miller, Singleton, Streisand, Hendricks, 8-0.
Alright, item number 4 is update on the Wellness Center.
Yes, we received back all the scoring from the score teams for the RFQ to designate a design firm, and so we're going to set interviews in the next week or 2 with those firms. I believe based on response I've gotten back so far, there'll be 3 that will be interviewed initially, and then we'll rescore all of those based on those interviews, and then negotiate a contract with the final one to bring back to the council to get started on the project. And so, big thank you. We had a lot of responses, a lot of RFQs that had to be looked through by the team, and they did a great job. But we had a few people out of state and out of country that we had to wait on, but we got done. So that's what's going on the design front. On the funding front, we got another interview for a grant coming up next week, and so I think that's looking like a $50,000 grant, but we're going to meet with them. Not a lot of paperwork or anything involved in that, and so we're going to continue to search out grant funds. But I think the big fulcrum and leveraging point will be once we get the estimates from the final design team, so we know exactly what the final number will be. Other than that, I can answer any questions you have. Again, just kind of stuck in design mode now, but that's the update on the Wellness Center.
Any questions for Greg? If not, we'll move on to the administrator's report.
I can't answer any specific questions you have. This week and last few weeks, it's been about just chasing a lot of odds and ends. We did 6-month evals of all the employees. I did the entire management team, and so that takes up a substantial amount of time to sit down and meet with each one of them. We had, the fun IT stuff. We had a giant rollout. So I don't know if did you guys get proof point emails? Most of you should within your email. If you haven't got it, I think we sent something out about it. This is the new spam filter. It's a higher level of filtration for spam and other things. We'll stop getting emails from the mayor asking us to go get Walmart gift cards.
But thank you for everyone who did.
I know you guys appreciate all those emails from the mayor for Walmart gift cards, but they're not real. And so this will help filter out some of those odds and ends. It has some recognition for that. It's a little more not so intuitive because it's working a little deeper. Another one that we've really been careful of lately is we've been getting a lot of emails that what the scam is doing is it's looking for like large scale emails where you're listing everybody in the CC publicly. Somehow one of those emails catches this. It's hacked. It responds to that email as if it's responding by the person. It looks like it's from them, and if you don't do a very specific check of that email address, it looks like it says Greg Butcher, and it looks like I'm responding to an email I already sent you, because I did. And then it has an Excel file on it, and that Excel file is the corrupt item. And we are getting a lot of those. And so this filtration system is going to catch a lot of that before, but the rollout has been less than stellar, let me say, just because
we're trying to work through all the little technical things, like today we had to send out payroll, well, all the payroll stubs came back. They didn't go out, and so we had to work with BizCo. And so we're trying to get all those, figured out before we send out all of the, utility billing at the end of the month. That's our biggest concern right now, that it's gonna catch that and they're not gonna go out properly. So, trying to fix some of those bugs, and that's taken up a lot of time. Other than that, working through some DTR items. I'm probably gonna need to call the LB40 DTR committee together to just review one item for SHPO that will help out a bunch of business owners in regards to windows that we kind of talked about a few weeks back. I got the final say on how to do that. I think just LB840 doing the action and then me writing a letter on your behalf signed probably by the chair will be sufficient to get that out. So we might call that quick. It should take us 15, 20 minutes to take care of. But, yep, just working through that. And we have, still have some shortage in staff. We working through the police openings. That's a big deal for us. And so that process of review of candidates is underway. But we're trying to keep that open at the same time to catch anybody else. But that's still a struggle just across the board, not just police, but across the board labor right now for the cities. Tough. We got another opening in electric lineman. So, yeah, that's taking up a lot of time and having a lot of conversations with Derek and department heads now, trying to be very creative in recruiting. And I commend Derek and Mindy for their work on different ways to utilize social media, posters, all kinds of other stuff that we've never used in the past, because we have to be very creative now in trying to get our message out in front of people and what we're all about. And so it's not just stick something in the paper, throw something on your website and go, well, by golly, we're Seward, it'll be a great time. It's a competitive market because there's a lot of jobs out there. And so we're digging a little deeper than we have before on all of them. So, any other questions, let me know. There's plenty going on. So, oh, let's see. Other notes that we have, we are in the process of updating the website. As I might have told you previously, the previous website is basically just kind of falling apart because it was built under the old HTML coding system, where the new systems for WordPress and other areas like that are more of like a drag and drop. And PPD is working with us. They've built us a new site, and Mindy and Derek and myself are working to basically populate that. It looks very similar to the old one, seeing similar drop-down menus and things like that, but just more modernized. And then the ease of use for all of our staff to update, add pictures, move things around. We don't have to code. We don't have to sit there and HTML code it out. We literally just make it expand, put in text, slap a picture on it, move it around. Updates are easier. I know we've caught some stuff lately where, for instance, the ward map. Well, the ward map on the old one was hosted on like 5 different spots. Each one of those is a separate hosting of that PDF word map. And we would have to go in and change every single hosting site rather than just referring to one. Things like that. It's just more simplistic. But we're in the process of doing that. We'll probably confer with the mayor once we get enough of the bones together of that, and then hopefully roll that out for you. And then we did receive bids today on the Carroll Cave box culvert up by Plum Creek Park. And so that came in basically right at where we thought it would. We'll be right on budget. We'll have a little bit more in some engineering oversight, but the project is slightly underneath what was in your budget for the year. So good work to Mike for his estimates and Shimmer and taking a look at that. That's probably, they're giving us good numbers to try and hit some of these projects on the nose. So hopefully that continues forth throughout the rest of our construction projects through the year. Did I miss anything else there?
No, sir.
Sorry.
Any questions or comments for Craig? Otherwise, entertain a motion to approve the report.
I'll move to approve the report. Second.
The motion and a second. Please register your votes. Please swear the votes.
Voting in favor: Wilken, Beck, Camper, Coulterman, Miller, Singleton, Streisand, Hendricks, 8-0.
Leaving future requests for council agenda items or administrative action. Seeing none. All right. Jonathan Jank, welcome.
Yes.
Upcoming events.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of upcoming things here in November. November 21st is our organization's quarterly board meeting. we'll be approving our annual budget and upcoming multi-year strategic plan. And then that following Saturday, November 26th, so Saturday after Thanksgiving, will be the 12th annual Seward Christmas Festival. Lots of fun for the whole family. The event schedule and local holiday calendar will be coming out soon. Please promote this upcoming event and remember to shop local. One more update, Illuminate Seward campaign to replace the silhouette lights in downtown Seward is continuing to move forward. Again, thank you to the city for your leadership to install lights on City Hall. I really think that's inspired other downtown building and business owners to make investments in their own buildings. We'll be installing 10 new buildings in the next couple of weeks in partnership with SCC's electromechanical program students who are working with us on the installation, and would encourage just others to join us through their investments and donations to support this important community development project. With that, that's all. Thanks, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Jonathan. With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion and a second. Please register your votes. Please bear votes.
Voting in favor, Wilken, Beck, Camper, Colterman, Miller, Singleton, Streisand, Hendricks, 8-0.
All right, thank you all and have a great night.